This shit more than a game.
Perfect.
When you ask yourself, what are the three most important things that you want to take away from a rebuild, what would those three things be? I want to ask all of the early people who come into the chat to start off this show. When you ask yourself, what are the three most important things that you would like to see your team have as they embark in a rebuild? What would those three things be? I would imagine that everybody says one of them would be having a head coach you believe in. I believe the second thing that everybody would unanimously agree on is having a quarterback that you believe in. And then the third thing comes down to personal opinion. Someone might say, I want to have an offensive line that we can build upon so that our quarterback can be protected going forward. Some might say, no, we need that defensive line to be built upon so that we can get to the opposing quarterback and win games when it comes down to slugfest. Whatever that third thing is, neither here nor there for the purpose of this conversation. The main two things, though, are that you want a head coach you believe in and you want a quarterback you believe in. Now, if I asked you guys, between those two, which one would you say is the most vital? Which one would you say you would take away the most if you only had one choice? Because this is a mainly Saints dominant show, let's use the example of the 2006 New Orleans Saints. Let's say that you had your choice between Sean Payton or Drew Brees. Now, thankfully, in reality, we got Sean Payton and Drew Brees. But say that the football guys say you can only get one. You're going to get a great head coach. You can get a great quarterback in 2006. Would you have taken Sean Payton or would you have taken Drew Brees? I'm going to assume that everybody would have taken Drew Brees. As much as we love Sean Payton and having an elite head coach, you want that quarterback that you feel like every Sunday you go into the game feeling like you can win because you have a quarterback that can win games for you. Tyler Shough, if anything else, is making us feel like we might just have that quarterback that we can go into every Sunday believing like we have a chance to win. We may not know so far yet about how we feel, certainly about Kellen Moore. We may not know if our offensive line is going to be great going forward, if our defensive line is being built upon, about the skilled players and all that. But what Tyler Shough has done in just a month of starting is made us feel like we might just have a quarterback that every Sunday for the foreseeable future, including now, in a year where we only have 3 wins, Tyler Shough is making us feel like we actually have that quarterback that we can believe in. And that, I would argue, is the most important thing to have when it comes to rebuilding a team. Because quarterback is the most valuable position, not only in football, but in all the sports. And so suddenly, there seems to be a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to our Saints fandom. Because through all the darkness, it seems like, if just for now, we have a quarterback that we can believe in. And that is the most important thing that you can have when it comes to rebuilding. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jono Ball Show, but it's shit more than a game.
From the stands, I'm invested. Every loss served like a lesson, we tested. Front porch talk turn to Sunday confessions. From dome to the block, it's all one connection. From Eric to Drew, Alvin to Cam, talk down on my squad. Boy, I be damned. I rap for the ones that never got fame, still yelling loud. This shit more than a game. Cause y'all know why? This shit more than a game. It ain't no lie. This shit more than a game. You know that's right. This shit more than a game. And y'all know why? This shit more than a game. Now I got Lil Jono sitting on my knee, teaching them young what it mean to believe. This bigger than scores, it's what we became. He gon' know off top, this shit more than a game. Clarissa in the back giving me all types of stress, but deep down she know the husband the best. She knows he's crazy, she know he's mean, but she know the kid 100% New Orleans. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. It ain't no lie, this shit more than a game. You know that's right, this shit more than a game. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. Yeah, when you see Jono scream, this shit more than a game. And when you see a Falcons fan, just call out for Jonathan. And yeah, this shit more than a game. New Orleans know this shit more than a game. Louisiana know this shit more than a game. Texas know this shit more than a game. Whole world know this shit more than a game. Y'all know why.
This shit more than a game.
And y'all know how we got to start off this Victory Tuesday edition. Oh, it feels good to say that. We only have to say it 3 times this season, so let's cherish it. Victory Tuesday edition of the Jono Barnes Show. Leave this shit more than a game in the chat right now. Or if you are like the great Bruce Saint, the king of the super chats, leave this shuck more than a game. Bruce Saint, great minds think alike, because good Lord have mercy, huh? Good Lord have mercy. Is this shuck more than a game right now? Good Lord have mercy. I said it before, and I will say it again. I'm going to keep saying it for the rest of my life, long as he continues to prove me wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong about one Tyler Nathan Shough. His middle name is Nathan now. I was wrong, and Tyler Shough, I apologize. What a dumbass I was on draft day. Ranting and rambling, thinking I know more than those scouts and head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What a dumbass I was. Because Tyler Shough, that boy is showing me something. I think he's showing a lot of Saints fans something. I think he's showing most Saints fans something. I still get a lot of people on social media getting mad at me, thinking that somehow I became the Tyler Shough fan club president. I don't know how that happened. I mean, I'm like the last person who deserves that title, given what I did on draft day. But, you know, the Spencer Rattler believers who do not want to give credit where credit is due. Then you got a lot of just jilted fans who have extremely high expectations and don't want to crown Tyler Shough just yet. That's all fine and dandy. It really is. It really is. Now, the Spencer Rattler ones, I don't know what that, but it's all fine and dandy. But I would hope that as a fan, and I never tell people how to fan, but I can at least offer a suggestion. I would hope as a fan, you all can at least, in these dark days of the past 5 years of being a Saints fan since Drew Brees retired, at least find a little bit in your black heart, or black and gold heart, but mainly black heart since Drew Brees retired, to just have a little hope, have a little faith, have a little optimism. Like, yo, this guy for a rookie is playing really well. This guy for a rookie is doing the thing that Jono said that a quarterback needed to do to show that he could be a franchise quarterback, given the state of the 2025 Saints roster. He is turning chicken shit into chicken salad. The New Orleans Saints, y'all, have no business winning any game, especially against a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New Orleans Saints have no business winning games like the New Orleans Saints have no business being competitive. We traded Rashid Shaheed. We lost Eric McCoy. Alvin Kamara is out. We gave away Brandon Cooks. Like, we have no business in 2025 right now being competitive, much less winning games. And Tyler Shough is finding ways to win games for us against division opponents at that. Because these are the teams that you want to be able to beat, because, hell, you might have some faith that shit, NFC South don't look that good. If we were able to beat the 2 teams vying for the playoff spot and vying for the NFC South crown in 2025, if we could beat the Panthers and the Bucs, why should we not throw optimism in that shit? If we get a few things going right our way in 2026, maybe the rebuild goes a little bit faster. Maybe it's expedited. Maybe we can contend in 2026. Yes, it's getting ahead of yourself, but I mean, damn, data is the data. We beat the 2 top teams in the NFC South with Tyler Shough. And we didn't have the skill players and the talent to really go against those 2 teams right now, to be honest. And Tyler Shough is finding ways to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I was going to try to do like a chicken shuck line, but it didn't go right in my head. Tyler Shough is finding a way to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. If you can't find any hope in that, whether you fully believe that he's the quarterback of the future or not, I definitely know, y'all, that maybe this is fool's gold. Maybe Tyler Shough comes down to reality. If not this year, in 2026, when teams get film tape on him and say, okay, we know how to contend and defend this guy now, and maybe he comes back down to reality. We've seen a lot of young quarterbacks show flashes for professional teams. Their fan base go, oh, man, we got us one. Atlanta Falcons. And then that quarterback wind up being mediocre to average at best. That might be the case here. This ain't the show for that. He said, I'm not the person for that. I'm going to find the optimism whenever I can. You got some fans who think that sometimes I'm always being negative. I'm always being Debbie Downer. I'm going to be negative and Debbie Downer because the team gives me negative and Debbie Downer results. But when the team gives me good results, I've always said I'm a fair man. You would get the most sunshine and rainbows person out there when it comes to fandom in Jono Barnes. And Tyler Shough has given me reasons to be optimistic. He's giving me reasons to feel like there's rainbows and sunshine when I look outside Who Dat Nation and not dark clouds and rainy weather. Tyler Shough is doing the damn thing. And the most important thing is, you know, the stats are whatever, you know. He didn't even have that much great stats this Sunday, to be honest. If you take away the 2 rushing touchdowns, like his passing numbers weren't great. It was a monsoon that we were damn near playing with that Tampa Bay weather, but his stats wasn't the thing that makes you go, oh, wow, look at this guy. But what he does is he has that moxie. He has that grit. He has that way to find an ability to win. I share the unnecessary fortune of also being a Pelicans fan. I know some of you Saints fans aren't as into the Pelicans as I am. And one thing about watching the Pelicans is, as exciting as it's been to watch our 2 rookies in Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen stuff up the stat sheet and look really good to give us something to have hope for in that damn franchise. We can't, as a franchise for the Pelicans, find a way to win a goddamn game and save our lives. Last night, another close game where we came back down 20, still found the way to lose. Like, this team is just allergic to winning. It feels like they have a losing culture in there, that this team does not know how to win games. Tyler Shough in 1 month has come in and found out how to win games. That, more than any stats, more than any highlight plays, to me is the most important. That this guy is finding a way to win games for the New Orleans Saints in 2025. That gives me optimism, like, yo, this guy might have something. Because if he can win games with this O-line and with Devin Neal in his second game as his first game as a starter, then why can I not have hope that with a draft class in 2026 that should be a good draft class for us, maybe a good free agent acquisition or 2, that Tyler Shough can continue to build off that and get the Saints closer to that contention that we've been praying for since Drew Brees retired. That makes me feel good. And I know that some fans, and we're going to get to this in our next segment, feel like Tyler Shough is messing up our draft position because we went from picking number 2 in the draft last week to going all the way down to number 5 with that win. But let me tell you, I would argue that the growth and the belief that you have a franchise quarterback is so much more important than landing a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. Is it nice to have a top pick? Yes. Selfishly, I want us to have at least a top 3 pick. Yes, I selfishly, as a content creator, because shit, going through this boring season up until Tyler Shough started playing the way he played, I was like, well, at least by February and March, draft fever is going to be at an all-time high in New Orleans because we're going to have our highest draft pick in decades. And that's going to be great for content because fans are going to be tuning in to see, you know, who of these top prospects are the Saints going to draft with a top 3 pick. But I would gladly sacrifice that if Tyler Shough continues to play the way he plays. If that means we wind up picking number 5 or number 7 or going even as far as number 10, if Tyler Shough keeps upsetting these teams, then so be it. Then so be it, because it is much harder to build a winning culture than it is to keep picking high in the draft. Tennessee Titans had the number 1 pick last year. Look at them right now with the number 3 pick. Picking number 1 does not guarantee instant success. It's nice to have. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I understand why some fans are being like, man, but our draft position. I get all that. But let me tell you, having your starting quarterback that you feel like you can have for the next 7 to 10 years is so much more valuable. It is so much more valuable than the top 3 pick. And if you got great scouts on your team, which apparently the Saints must have, given how successful our draft class in 2025 has been, right? Then shit, doesn't matter whether you're picking 3 or if you're picking number 10. Doesn't matter. because the Saints have shown so far with this new class of scouts and this head coach and the coaching staff that we have that we do know how to find talent. No matter where we pick it, we know how to find talent, apparently. So I tell Saints fans, don't stress too much about the draft class and where we're going to be picking at. Focus right now on the now. And the now is that Tyler Shough is doing the goddamn thing. And he shucked the Bucs. And but he had that fan base going into a tailspin on Tuesday, on this past Sunday. And that was fun. I enjoy it. He had the Panthers fans about 3 weeks ago. And he had the Bucs fans crashing out. See, only one of these teams is probably going to make the playoffs because I doubt the other team makes it to the wild card. So only one of these teams between the Bucs and the Panthers are going to be the NFC South champions and make the playoffs, which means the other team is going to be looking back in January like, God damn, man, how did we lose to the New Orleans Saints game that ruined our season and cost us a playoff spot? And I enjoy it. A 3-win season so far in December 2025 for the New Orleans Saints. I enjoy watching every time the New Orleans Saints beat a team, their fan bases crash out. The Panthers fans was crashing out 3 months ago. There are fans on Twitter trying to meet us to fight because they were so mad that they lost to the Saints. The Bucs fans crashing out. Oh, we got to fight everybody. You know how the Bucs fans were always coming at us. Oh, we're the 4-time NFC South champions and all that. One loss to those New Orleans Saints in 2025, and now they want to fight Todd Bowles. They want to get rid of everybody. I love it. I find the little victories when it comes to my New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shough has sent 2 fan bases into a tailspin. That's the type of shit that makes you endeared in New Orleans. That's the type of shit that shows why this Shough is more than a game. So I love it. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Tyler Shough is doing the damn thing. And what a game, man. Those 2 rushing touchdowns, I didn't even know he had it in him. Like, that guy is mobile. I know what a lot of you guys were thinking. Man, this guy looks like a little bit like Josh Allen. Now, I know it's crazy to throw names of Hall of Fame type players when you got like a young player. I get it, but hell, we're fans. You know, we're not analysts. We're not analysts, y'all. We're not paid analysts or experts. We can be fans. So, yeah, throw a name out like Josh Allen. Throw a name out like Ben Roethlisberger. Because when he shows flashes like that, you can't help but get excited. Like, yo, this guy can run too. This guy is a handful for defenses to bring down. It's not like Tampa's a bad defense. You know, a few weeks ago, some fans were saying, it's just the Panthers. Well, I mean, technically the Panthers are 7-6. So I don't know why they were saying it's just the Panthers. But are they going to go, it's just the Bucs too? Is it just the Bucs? I mean, these are the NFC South teams that we're playing. These are the teams that Tyler Shough is going to be playing for the next 7 to 10 years. So, hell. But the Bucs are 4-time NFC South champions. The Bucs were at one point called Super Bowl contenders by the media up until November. So you can kind of discredit it all you want, but the results are the results. Tyler Shough against some pretty good defenses is doing the damn thing. And if you can't get excited about that, y'all, then maybe this shit more than the game of you isn't as strong as you think it is. So let's recap, you guys, Tyler Shough's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. Unfortunately, you would think that this would be the show that my co-host, Ziggy, would want to come on, but he's on vacation right now. But he sends his well wishes and says that he tried telling us about being patient when it comes to being in a rebuild. So I'm going to have you guys be my co-host this week, and I want to definitely utilize y'all's opinion in the chat tonight about Tyler Shough's performance. And then we're going to have this debate because I see a lot of discussion going on with some Saints fans who are mad that we're winning games. Even in some of my funny and silly tweets, people are coming at me in a serious tone saying, yeah, man, but it's ruining our draft position. And you know what? I can actually even understand that. So before I just kind of like shoot them off or get mad at people for being mad at the Saints for actually winning games, we'll have a deep dive discussion about that. But before we have a discussion about does Tyler Shough playing well ruin our draft position in 2026, let's talk about his game on Sunday because he was very impressive. And the most adverse conditions with that rainfall coming down hard in Tampa Bay, with a lot of our skill players not being necessarily the greatest skill players in the NFL, Tyler Shough found the way against a really good team on the road against a good defense to will the Saints to a victory. It was very, very great. And I see my guy Bruce Saint had another comment, and I do want to give some love to Devin Neal as well and Calvin Banks because, you know, Tyler Shough is a quarterback, right? So he's obviously going to get all the flowers and the most spotlight. But, man, that draft class as a whole, y'all, with Sanker, with Quincy Riley, with Neal, with Banks. Come on now. What did I say in the offseason? I said the most important thing I feel like Kellen Moore has to do And we've all been a little hard on Kellen Moore the past few weeks, but I got to give credit where it's due. One, for how he's developed quarterbacks, because it's not like Spencer Rattler was stinking it up. Spencer Rattler looked much more improved from 2025 than he did in 2024. I got to give credit to Kellen Moore for that. Tyler Shough looks great. To say this is only his, fifth game coming up now as a starter. But that draft class, his first draft class, looks really good. The same way Sean Payne's first draft class wound up being that foundation for the Saints to be contenders for 7-8 years after 2006. This draft class with Devin Neal, with Kelvin Banks, with Tyler Shough, with Jonas Senko, with Quincy Riley, that gives you something to have. I mean, the Saints are doing, y'all, as negative and as gloomy as we've been this season. The Saints have done some of the most important things that you need to do when it comes to rebuilding. Hit on your draft picks. Find what you think should be probably a great quarterback for the future. And maybe have the head coach. I don't know. We still got to see about Kellen Moore. I'm not sold on him yet as far as a head coach, but it's still early. It's still early. But they got one of the most important things down pat, which was the rookie class headed by a potential franchise quarterback. That's exciting. That's exciting. My guy Diego says, once again, we got the best quarterback in the division. That's a little early to say that, Diego, but it is exciting. Y'all, by the way, I don't know if y'all noticed, YouTube has this new thing now where they used to do like the actual names of the people, but now they do the handles. So just in case y'all are confused and y'all think that maybe it's me who's like doing the @ handles instead of your names. No, it's the new thing that YouTube is doing now where they do, instead of it being @Diego, it's @Don Diego to that, because they do the, I don't like it. I don't like this new YouTube thing. I wish they would have gave us an option, but that's just a YouTube thing, y'all. When you see the handles now, when it says @, it's going to be your actual username now and not the, profile name. I guess they're doing it to stop, fraud names or whatever. Like y'all know sometimes on my show, which I thought was funny, like I would have a Dennis Allen comment or a Derek Carr where you can't really do that anymore now because YouTube is making it where they're going to have the actual @ name that you chose when you registered. So I wish you would have given us the option, though, because I don't like, because some of these names are like, oh, I think I know that person, but it's not the actual name that I'm used to saying out loud. That's just a content creation that I had to get out. But I think y'all might have noticed that, like I've noticed it the past few weeks, that they changed the username handles, how it comes up on the chat. Just know that's a YouTube decision, not a John Barnes decision. All right, back to the comments on Tyler Shough's great game from Sunday. The Know the Chop podcast says, if nobody not going to say it, I'm going to say it. Tyler Shough is our franchise quarterback. He's one bad mother shucker. I'm still in that. I don't think I've ever used a mother shucker line yet. I'm still in that, the Know the Chop podcast. Know the Chop podcast, all fairness to you, you've been high on Tyler Shough since draft day. So credit to you. I don't want to be one of these people who, I don't know, like I'm going to say Tyler Shough's praises, but I'm going to gladly and I'll proactively remind people that I was not a Tyler Shough believer on draft day. And I even said, maybe it's a good thing that I'm negative about the Tyler Shough pick, because I begrudgingly admit that I was not high on Drew Brees signing with the Saints in 2006. And thank God social media was not out back then, because good Lord, how horribly that take would have aged if I was on social media in 2006 and social media was a thing in 2006. I was like, I would rather keep Aaron Brooks. So why aren't we drafting Vince Schoen or Matt Leinart? So goes to show that if John Barnes has a negative opinion about a quarterback that the Saints still taking, you should probably just assume that quarterback is going to be a really good player for the Saints. Very early. Know the Chop says he's a franchise quarterback. It's still too early to like realistically say this is the guy for the future, but damn, does it not feel good to feel like we might have that guy. Damn, does it not feel good to feel like we might have that guy. And damn, does it feel good to have, good Lord have mercy. Now, he's in Mexico, so I don't know how much Mexico translates over euros or whatever to the Super Chats, but $50, now maybe it's a five. Look, I'm dumb. None of y'all know now. It's the Holy Cross if you go to New Orleans education. Right away. Shout out to Diego for the Mexican $50 Super Chat. And he says, screw the Falcons and the Bucs. And I'll do you one better, Diego. Pesos, thank you, my lovely Hispanic wife, Clarissa. He says, screw the Falcons and Bucs, and I'm saying shuck the Falcons and Bucs. Now, I am kind of very mad at of all the teams that, I probably would have, you would have told me in November, Tyler Shough is going to win a game against the NFC South team. I would say, well, let that be the Falcons, and I'll take a loss against the Bucs and the Panthers. He actually reversed it and beat the Bucs and the Panthers and lost to the Falcons. But we get the Falcons again. Like, I told the Falcons fans that when they beat us on Thanksgiving week, I said, we get y'all again. If y'all watched the Falcons game on Sunday, that team quit. Are there any Falcons fans in the chat tonight? Y'all, I haven't really been looking at the chat too closely. I've been too busy ranting. Are there any Falcons fans in the chat? I don't see any to the corner of my eye. What a shock, right? Because their fan base matches the equivalent of their team. They no-show. They no-show when things get dark and gloomy. They no-show. The Falcons no-show Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. If y'all watched that Seattle Seahawks game, or at least watch the highlights, the Falcons quit. The Falcons quit on Sunday. One thing about the New Orleans Saints, and all these years of us sucking, you never seen us actually quit. I would give Dennis Adams that credit. I would give Kevin Moore that credit. As bad as the Saints have been, the Saints have never had a game in the past 5 years since Drew Brees retired where you watch and you were like, wow, this team actually quit on us. We got our ass whooped, but it wasn't for our lack of effort. It was just that we don't have the talent. The Falcons on Sunday quit. And it makes me wonder, are the Falcons quitting for the whole season? Because if so, we got y'all coming in January, and please believe revenge is a dish best served cold to all them damn Falcons fans. All them damn Falcons fans talking all that shit all off season. And now ain't nowhere to be found. Well, okay, Angel, I see him. Actually, he left me a text that we'll for sure doing a voicemail segment. But we tried telling y'all, Falcons fans, we tried telling y'all, we said, hey, we know we're not going to be good. You can't make it up. We tried telling y'all. But y'all better not have too much dip on y'all chip. Diego, you're damn right. Screw the Falcons and the Bucs, and thank you for that super chat. Falcons fans, we tried telling y'all, man. But now y'all just got to come. See, not only is it going to be a playoff viewing couch in January as we cheer for the Bucs or the Panthers to lose, but for y'all Falcons fans, if y'all want, because of the kindness of our heart, we can turn it into a therapy session couch. See, I got a nice little couch where y'all can lay down right there, and you see we got some more room right there where us Saints fans would be more than happy. I'll even show y'all. Like, I'll sit down right here. Let the Falcons fans sit down right here. I'll have my book, and I'll do therapy with the Atlanta Falcons fans. Out of the kindness of my heart, because this shit more than the city. New Orleans, we have empathy for our fallen brothers. And Falcons fans, we tried telling y'all that this was going to happen, and y'all didn't want to believe us. Hell, my dumb ass was like, y'all might even make the playoffs. Y'all just going to Falcon in January, but y'all always find a way. Y'all always find a way to do it even before then. Gotta love the Falcons. Gotta love the Falcons. Yeah, Pro P, y'all can sweep us. It's a win-win for us at this point. Is that what y'all going to put in y'all banner at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in 2026? Well, at least we beat the Saints in 2025. We swept the Saints. Go Falcons. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. As a fan base, don't y'all think right now that we have more optimism about our future than the Atlanta Falcons? I genuinely think the Saints fans in our 3 wins, not like the Falcons are doing the damn thing. They only got 1 more win than us. But I genuinely think that the Saints have more faith as a fan base than the Atlanta Falcons right now. Because you see, us, this is year 1 of our rebuild. Falcons, this is supposed to be like the year where the rebuild finally comes to fruition. This is supposed to be the year that they enjoyed the fruits of their labor of rebuilding. And their fruits have led them to a 4-win season. Their fruits have led them to being eliminated, joining us on the goddamn couch with their 2 star-studded quarterbacks, one making $60 million guaranteed, one who is on an IR and has had a history of being on an IR. So I would argue that the New Orleans Saints as a fan base have more faith and optimism right now than the Atlanta Falcons, who are supposed to be contending for that playoffs this year. The national media kept telling us, watch out for the Falcons. Watch out for the Falcons. Watch out indeed, huh? Watch out indeed. Congratulations, Falcons. They should have another banner up in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta Falcons survived 1 week in the hunt longer than the New Orleans Saints. Wow, y'all really showed us, Falcons fans. Y'all really showed us, Falcons fans. Good Lord have mercy. Do I love that the Falcons are our division rival? And you see, let me get to this comment. I see, because you know the Falcons, they always need a scapegoat. So right now it's Raheem Morris. But you know what, Falcons fans? Yeah, maybe Raheem Morris isn't the greatest head coach, but guess what? You're going to hire a new head coach. You know what's going to change? Just the name on the office title. Because at the end of the day, what doesn't change is the name of your franchise, the Atlanta Falcons. No matter who y'all hire. I can hire Jesus Christ himself. It don't matter, because you guys are the Atlanta Falcons. And no matter what, the Falcons gone Falcon. We tried telling y'all. Let's talk about teams that are actually winning enough of those losing teams. Like we got to worry about the Atlanta Falcons. Jeez. Let's talk about teams that actually show effort, that actually show heart, that actually win games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. And again, shout out to you, Diego, for that super chat. And shout out to everybody who's left super chats the past few weeks. So from 2 weeks ago to my guy, the king of the super chats, Bruce saying, to even though Angel and Juddy Bell, I don't think Juddy Bell's on the show. You see, this is when, from 2 weeks ago, when the Falcons fans were like, oh, hey, we beat the Saints. Maybe things are looking a little bit better or whatever. They left super chats. They're not leaving super chats this week. They're not leaving super chats this week. Them Seahawks was more than a game, huh? And last week, to Sandra, to Wayne Brown, and to Slim John, just know that every super chat we get, we invest right back into the show. So know that this shit is more than a thanks. And we appreciate y'all. And because I got super chats from the great king of super chats, Bruce Saint, and from Diego this week, I will show you guys later on in the show just how improved Lil Jono has been this football season when it comes to being this shit more than the game certified. Because I think that just as Tyler Shough had his best game this past Sunday, Lil Jono had his best game in his rookie season of being a Saints fan. So I'll show you guys that clip later on in the show. If my wife is still watching, I hope she's able to tell me how much in pesos is $50 to United States currency, because I'm not smart enough to know that yet. But I appreciate the super chat, y'all. And I appreciate the comments that you guys are leaving. So let's get to some more comments on Tyler Shough's performance. ASAP Dickens says, this draft class might have saved Mickey Loomis' job. That's a very good point, because we all know how low Saints fans have been on Mickey Loomis. But I will always say I'm willing to give credit. And I was even one of the people saying I'm not going to fire Mickey Loomis or be one of those fire Mickey Loomis fans yet. I would say, look, he gave us a Sean Payton and Drew Brees era. He gave us the Derek Carr and Dennis Allen era. So you're at a wash. I said this Kellen Moore era is the era for me to determine like your future. If Kellen Moore winds up flopping, then I felt like Mickey Loomis had to get out. But I feel like if Kellen Moore succeeds, then you give Mickey Loomis more time, because the data is the data. And so far, I mean, it's only been a 3-win season. I'm not acting like, oh, boy, we're great. Days are better. Everything's hokey-dory. Not at all. Not at all. But the pieces are there. With this draft class, with Tyler Shough, the pieces are at least there that you have optimism that, hey, maybe we are doing something. If it winds up not being great, if Tyler Shough winds up still being a failure, if the draft class amounts to not much success, then it could be back to the fire Mickey Loomis brigade. But for right now, ASAP Douglas makes a good point. Draft class and Tyler Shough might have saved Mickey Loomis' job. Bruce Saint says, I only understand taking if you're trying to fire your head coach, but more as a rookie. Give him some damn time and let the team develop with him. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sonia says the Bucs fans. Oh, I think she's talking about another comment that she made. Yeah, no, it's fine. She's saying shuck the F up to the Bucs fans. Yeah. And what's great, Sonia, is that I guarantee you there are so many Bucs fans. And I actually wouldn't eat like I was kind of so out of it this past Saints Bucs week that I didn't even like troll the Bucs fans like I usually do. So I ain't posting any skits or any content like talking about their fake rivals or anything like that. But I guarantee you, they still probably had a lot of Bucs fans that had like tweets and mentions in their drafts that was ready to go off on me, assuming that the Bucs were going to beat the 2-win New Orleans Saints on Sunday. And now, I guess we'll never know what those tweets were going to be, because they didn't get to post them, because our 2-win New Orleans Saints beat the vaunted Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's get to some more comments. Bruce Saint says, look at the Jaguars. They've had a top 3 pick 6 times in the past 25 years and 0 success to show for it. Now, they have had a few playoff appearances, Bruce Saint. They actually made it to the AFC Championship game in 2017. But it is true that having a top pick does not guarantee success moving forward. Bruce Saint also says, Neal is getting better. Banks is a premier left tackle. Senka is a ball hog. Roddy's been getting better too. I can't help but feel very good about our future. Moo Breezy says, go Broncos. Moo Breezy, I actually think most of New Orleans will be quietly cheering for the Broncos in the playoffs. So if this is your first time on the show, welcome to the This Shit More Than the Game community. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope your Broncos do the damn thing, because the AFC does not look like there's any juggernauts in contention this year. So what a story it will be. A bit bittersweet for New Orleans, but what a story it will be if Sean Payton leads the Broncos in his third season, his third season to the Super Bowl. The Broncos have as much of a shot as anybody. So stranger things have happened. JP, see Jerry G, but Twitter has this goddamn thing now. This is what I'm talking about, where they don't have the names anymore. They just have the handles. It's not my decision, y'all. It's Twitter. Jerry G says the Falcons are about to quit on Raheem Morris. Brother, I think the Falcons have already quit on Raheem Morris. I don't think they're about to. They after Rashid Shaheed bought that touchdown back this past Sunday is when they quit on Raheem Morris. I ain't no about to. They quit on Raheem Morris. Let me get to some more comments. Then because Bruce Saints been talking about what we're. Oh, yo, we got a celebrity in the building, y'all. My dog, my fellow UNO colleague. I'm honored to be. I don't think we was in the same class, but we was in the same era. The real Derek Augustine. Now, if y'all don't know Derek Augustine, then y'all must not be this shit more than the game certified because that guy is doing the damn thing in Hollywood and representing New Orleans well. And Derek, I don't know if you were able to stay on the show. You made this comment about 3 minutes ago, so my bad if you had to log off right quick. But keep doing your thing, my guy. Hit me up, my guy. Hit me up on social media, and let's get you on the show so we can talk about all these great projects that you're a part of. Because Derek, y'all, Google him. If you don't know who he is, Google him. He's doing the goddamn thing. He's doing the goddamn thing in Hollywood. And I'm honored, Derek, to have you. And I aspire to have some of the success you've had in my own unique way with what you're doing and how you are holding down the city of New Orleans, man. It's an honor to have you on my show. You guys, Google Derek Augustine. That guy is doing the damn thing in Hollywood and holding it down for the city of New Orleans. And y'all know how hard it is to have any type of career in Hollywood with the competition and with the politics and everything that goes into being in Hollywood. So for Derek to have niched out the career that he's had in Hollywood while being loud and proud New Orleans and being loud and proud of who that and loud and proud this shit more than the game. Derek, man, please know that you are this shit more than the game certified. Hit me up, my guy, on social media. Let's get you on the show sometime so we can talk New Orleans Saints and all the great things that you are doing in Hollywood. I love it. I love it. See that, y'all? See that? See what the wind does? See what the wind does? We get the celebrities in the chat, man. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. The Know the Chop podcast says, shout out to Kool-Aid. Yeah, Kool-Aid, I've been very critical of Kool-Aid this season, but he had maybe his best game of the season, actually, this past Sunday as well. You know, again, we're getting caught up in the Tyler Shough hype because that's the most important position. But, hey, man, some of these young players really look like they're turning the corner, and that's what we wanted in the rebuild is that we said, hey, just show us growth from September to December to January so that we can feel like, hey, what we're going through is worth it. And I think right now what we're going through has been worth it, given the results that we've had the past month. Let me get to a final comment from my guy, Carlton Banks, who says, it's not an either-or question. As long as Shough is the starter, he will have growth, win or lose. Very fair, Carlton Banks. Very fair. But I do think, because I think Carlton was talking about the main topic of this show, we do have to talk about it. And that is, what is more important, Tyler Shough's growth or the Saints draft position? Because even though Carlton says it's not an either-or question, a lot of fans actually do think it is an either-or. Because a lot of fans, you will be surprised. Now, it's social media, right? So like I said, social media is always the loud minority. But a lot of fans were saying how mad they were that the Saints won because they feel like it's messing up our draft position. Let me show you guys the draft position again. The Saints, who are picking number 2, just as of last Sunday, going into the game, dropped 3 spots to number 5 and are now picking number 5. And y'all, the way we looked, we got Tennessee still on our schedule. We got the Jets on our schedule. We got the Falcons who quit this past Sunday. There is a reality. And I'm not saying this as like a crazy fan who thinks that, now that we beat the Bucs, everything is about to be, lights up. But there is a reality where the Saints might actually drop all the way down to the 10th spot or even further below if we get hot, because we are playing some very bad teams or teams that have just flat out quit the rest of the season. And it makes you wonder, are we, quote unquote, ruining our draft pick? Are we ruining our draft pick? Think about that question. We're going to play a word from one of our sponsors. And then we're going to talk about how do we feel about the Saints winning games the rest of the way at the expense of our draft pick.
Look, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the most stressful time of the year. We get it. We at the Jono Barnes Show get it. So we're really trying to make life easy for you guys. Just go on www.thisshitmorethanagame.com right now and you can buy one of these amazing shirts for only $28.03. Talk about a stocking stuffer, folks. We're making life easy for you this holiday season. Go on www.thisshitmorethanagame.com or johnobonds.com if you want to be PG-13 and buy a shirt for the holiday season now. This shit more than a holiday, man.
So let's talk about it. The New Orleans Saints winning games, is that detrimental to the future of the team? Because what we thought was going to be a draft where we were going to be picking top 3 could realistically be a draft where we end up picking number 10, number 11, who knows, right? We still got Tennessee on the schedule. We might be favored in that game. We still got the Jets on the schedule. We might be favored in that game. We close out the season with the Atlanta Falcons, who at that point might really be quitting. We might win that game. That would put the Saints at 6 wins. 6 wins, y'all, would be remarkable given what we thought we were going to be in 2025, right? 6 wins is like, holy shit, the Saints finished 2025 with 6 wins. The 6 wins also puts you in like that 10 to 13 range, not that top 1 to 3 pick. So it makes a lot of fans wonder, oh man, are we, sacrificing the future at the expense of meaningless wins in December in 2025? I know a lot of you fans probably in the chat because we got a lot of diehard Rabbit fans are going to like shoot that idea off. But I do think it's a legitimate gripe. Now, do I think it's something that fans should be mad at the team about or like harp on? Not necessarily, but I do think it's because you got to understand, like, we were all being conditioned to think that this was going to be a 3 to 4 win season. And it still might be. Like, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. And maybe, as good as we looked on Sunday, like, we're still not anywhere close to being, competitive where, we should just be like, oh, we're going to beat the Titans. We're going to beat the Jets. We're going to beat the Falcons. No, we might get our ass whooped in all 3 of those games. But there's a reality where we might win those games. You got to ask yourself, but damn, we thought we were going to be picking top 3. We were looking at the top prospects, like the top 3, top 4 prospects. Instead, we might have to like really look at our draft board and go a little deeper down that draft board because we're like, shit, now we're drafting number 8. Now we're drafting number 9. To some fans, it's a cold hard truth that they don't want to accept it. That actually makes them disappointed because they were probably getting excited about the thought of drafting top 3. I know as a content creator, I said it earlier in the show, I was getting excited. I was like, well, shoot, at least finally in April, we're going to have a top pick. And that's going to be the first time that I've been doing content that we have like maybe the number 1 pick. And that is going to have much more fan interest and general fans searching for the New Orleans Saints than if you're picking number 10 or if you're picking number 11 in the draft. That's how I'm thinking about it as a content creation point of view. Not from a fan point of view. I will say this. I am okay with winning games because it is at the growth of Tyler Shough. If we were winning games like we were the past few years with Derek Carr, where we knew there was no future, where we knew it was just being in no man's land, where we knew we were in the worst spot to be as a franchise, where you're not good enough to make the playoffs, but you're not bad enough to get a top pick, that is what will always make me mad. This is a lot different, y'all. This is a rookie quarterback who didn't even play a full season, who's only played 4 games so far. When it's all said and done, he'll play half a season. If he is the reason why we are winning these games, that to me is more important than picking top 3 because shit, usually when you want to pick top 3, it's because you want to draft the franchise quarterback, right? Some of these teams want to get that top pick because they want to draft the top quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class. We would already have that. We had the hardest part to figure out. Goes back to my opening rant. We already had the hardest part to seemingly figured out. We had the quarterback of the future. So if Tyler Shough is finding ways to keep giving us wins, I don't want to say I will happily be give up our draft slot, but I'm not going to complain because I'm going to be like, shit, I actually think Tyler Shough is expediting our rebuild. The New Orleans Saints, y'all, finished this season with, I'm even say 5 wins. If we win 2 more games the rest of the way, I cannot stress enough how remarkable that is. Given y'all how we saw this team look in September, if Tyler Shough can come to the team when we only had 1 win at the midseason point, and we finished the season with 5 wins because we put Tyler Shough in, do y'all not realize how important and how valuable that is to a team that's trying to contend again? Fuck a draft pick at that point. Or should I say Shough them picks at that point? We would have found out the most important part, that we have a quarterback. I'm going to get a shot at the Atlanta Falcons right quick. The Falcons thought they had that with Michael Penix last season. But you know what happened? They ain't even win that many games with Michael Penix last season. And yet the national media and the Falcons fans convince themselves that in losses, we got our quarterback. That's why we're going to contend again. Tyler Shough is actually performing well and winning games. Something the Falcons did not do last year, but somehow the national media was all on their ass in 2025. Tyler Shough is coming in and possibly winning games while looking good. That is the most important thing you can have as a franchise. Finding ways to winning games, building a winning culture. Because Lord knows you can't go to the team and be like, hey, y'all, we need y'all to play like shit. We need y'all to lose these games. We need y'all to tank. Then you're going to tell Chris Olave, hey, man, go out there. We know you playing with your life on the line, damn it, with all the concussions you had. But go drop a few passes for us, man. We need that top pick in 2026. No, man, these are grown-ass men. They're professionals. And if Tyler Shough is going to be the reason why we are spearheading improbable wins, you take that. You take that for a rookie quarterback. Because that makes you feel like, oh, shit, we actually might have something. And never mind 2027, which was the year I said we need to see is Kellen Moore and the Saints like ready to go at it. 2026 might be the year you can say, hey, watch out for them New Orleans Saints. So I understand. I genuinely do. I understand why some fans are like, man, our draft position, and we're gonna ruin it. We're not gonna be able to get that top prospect in the 2026 draft. I get it. Believe you me, I get it, because as a content creator, I really wanted to have a top 3 pick my damn self because it was going to do numbers for my channel. But if Tyler Shough is the reason why we pick number 10 or number 11, or we wind up having 5 or 6 wins, so fucking be it. Because we would say for sure, we got a quarterback that we can build on. And that is the most important thing of a rebuild. More than a head coach, I saw Bruce Saint say he would rather have a head coach over a quarterback. I disagree vehemently. You need a goddamn quarterback over anything. You need a quarterback in this goddamn league. They get all the contenders. You need a goddamn quarterback. If you want to have any realistic shot at ever being a Super Bowl contender, you need a quarterback. Joe Burrow got Zach Taylor and the Bengals to the Super Bowl, not the other way around. It's great to have a great head coach, do not get me wrong. But if you don't have a quarterback, you ain't got shit. We have a quarterback possibly. So forget them goddamn draft picks if we feel like we have a quarterback. Maybe we lose the next 5 games on the schedule. Maybe this is all for nothing. Maybe this conversation is pointless. But at least Tyler Shough on December 9, 2025 has made the conversation a realistic conversation. That he has looked that impressive, that he has found ways to win, that you're like, goddamn, the New Orleans Saints might actually win 3 more games this season and mess up their draft position. I understand why fans are upset at the idea of losing out on the top 3, top 5 pick. But I argue back. If it means that your rookie quarterback could be a franchise quarterback, you take it 10 out of 10 times. But how do y'all feel about that proposition of the New Orleans Saints messing up their draft pick? Let's get to some more of these comments. Double Soldier says, we could get the number 1 and then trade down for a haul. That would set us up for years. Double Soldier, I genuinely do not think that we are in position anymore for the number 1 overall pick. I really don't. I think if anything, we're going to win at least 1 more game at minimum. I think we're going to win 1 more game at minimum. And 4 wins is for sure, in my opinion, going to take us out the number 1 overall pick. So unfortunately, Double Soldier, you might want to get rid of that dream. Now we still might, end up with the number 2 or number 3 pick or whatever. But that number 1 pick, I sincerely doubt we get the number 1 pick anymore. Unless the Titans get hot. They did win the game this season, this past Sunday. Unless the Raiders and the Giants get hot and win games that they shouldn't, I genuinely doubt that the New Orleans Saints get the number 1 pick in the draft this upcoming season, given where we are at right now. The Know the Chop says, talk my shit. Of course I will. Sonia says, today my husband told me he wanted us to lose the rest of our games because he wants the highest draft pick we can get to draft a quarter. Okay, a quarter. Hey, look, believe it or not, y'all, there's a lot of fans who still aren't sold on Tyler Shough. That's their prerogative to draft a quarterback. I looked him in the face and wondered why I married him. And I asked them this shit more than the game, Sonia. That's some this shit more than the game energy, Sonia. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, Sonia's husband. There's a lot of Saints fans. Like a lot of Saints fans still, 1, don't believe in Tyler Shough, and 2, have been so conditioned to us getting that top pick that they are mad now at us winning games. And I'll tell you, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like there's been many seasons with the Pelicans where I cheered for us to lose games and to tank because I was like, man, screw these meaningless wins. I want to get a top pick for the NBA draft. You got to get the lottery. So I want to have the best odds to, winning the lottery. And it is exhausting, y'all. Like it is genuinely exhausting to cheer for your team to lose. I say this, and I learned this through action. I learned this through actual action. It is more exhausting to cheer for your team to lose than it is to cheer for your team to win. So I feel sorry for all of the fans who want us to lose these next 4 games, because I promise you, it is genuinely more exhausting to cheer for your team to lose than it is to cheer for your team to win. And a lot of Saints fans are about to figure that out. They might not know what I'm talking about, but they're going to see like how exhausting it is to cheer for your team to lose. Sandra says, I don't know why you married me to sis. I don't know if this is like some internal family stuff getting put out on a Jono Bond show or not, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Jaden says, what up, Jono? How you doing, my guy? Tyler Shough the Bucs this week. And Jono, keep up the great job on your YouTube channel. And F the Falcons, Shough the Falcons. Who that? You damn right, Jaden. You damn right. Esco Defy says, do you think any quarterback getting drafted is generational? And that's another thing. Like, we all thought this was going to be like a generational draft class when it comes to quarterbacks in 2026 for the upcoming quarterback class. And it's not. That's Mendoza in Indiana. You might have Simpson at Alabama. But is there any quarterback that you guys watched in college this year or heard about that you're like, whoa, that guy is going to be, that guy is the guy. That guy's the next Andrew Luck, the next Peyton Manning, you know, the next Jourdain at NFL superstardom quarterback? No. So, you know, given that fact, I'm not like crying tears that we may not have a top pick, because not only is there not, in my opinion, now maybe one of these quarterbacks that comes out in the draft this year is going to be great. We don't know, but there's nobody that makes me go for sure, who cares about Tyler Shough? We got to get this quarterback. And there's no quarterback that makes me go, man, I can't believe we're giving away our draft pick because we're winning these games at the expense of Tyler Shough's growth. So no, I don't think there's any quarterback in the draft, in my opinion, that is worthy of, you know, feeling like you have to tank or lose games. Bruce Saint says, if Shough has a winning record with his thoughts, the league will take notice. Yeah, Tyler Shough has been kind of quietly doing the thing, and I'm not mad at it. Now, maybe next year I'll start getting mad at the lack of attention, but, you know, the Saints have not done anything, honestly, to deserve attention from the national media. And obviously, Tyler Shough was not a popular name, truly, given the fact that I didn't even know who the hell he was up until the week of the draft, given my reaction to the Saints taking him. He's not getting the coverage, obviously, that Jackson Dart in New York is getting, right? He's not getting the coverage that Shedeur Sanders, who did real good Sunday, by the way, is getting. At least one thing, y'all, with my Tyler Shough ran on draft day, I was using Shedeur Sanders as kind of like my shield to say why we should take, if we're going to take any quarterback, I was like, take Shedeur Sanders. Well, Shedeur had 4 touchdowns this past Sunday. So at least I can say I was right about that. You know, I was wrong about the Tyler Shough selection, but I was right about Shedeur being a good quarterback early, but we'll see as well. But yeah, I do agree, Brute. If Shough continues to play like he plays, the league is not going to have any thing to do but to take notice, because wins and high-level performance makes the national media and opposing fans recognize. See, Panthers fans and Bucs fans, they were like, man, we can't believe we lost to Tyler Shough. And, you know, Tyler Shough. Well, you know what? If Tyler Shough keeps beating those teams, they're going to start saying, never mind losing to Tyler Shough, they're going to start going into games expecting to lose to Tyler Shough. The way that they went into games during the Drew Brees era expecting to lose to Drew Brees. There's only so long that these NFC South teams can be like, man, it's Tyler Shough. Well, you know, at least we're making Saints fans feel like Tyler Shough is the future. Okay. Let Tyler Shough keep adding up them wins against y'all. Let Tyler Shough keep adding up these wins against y'all. We'll see if y'all keep coping at the fact of losing to Tyler Shough. Brood also says, let's just say you do want to tank. There is not a single QB that you would tank for. I agree. Now, if there's a defensive player or a skill player that some Saints fans have fallen head over heels for in this draft that they really want to take, I would like to know. But there is no quarterback, I feel like. Maybe Mendoza, who looked really impressive this season and who had a very impressive victory against Ohio State this past Saturday. But, you know, has Tyler Shough done anything for you to go, we don't need to go with Tyler Shough in 2026? Absolutely not. I don't care if you believe in him or not. He's, if anything, you got to be fair, like I am fair, and say that Tyler Shough has done absolutely nothing to lose his starting spot going into 2026. Renard Smith says, Shough, this veteran is much more important than getting a top 5 pick. I agree. Now, if this was like a veteran quarterback we had, like if we were the coach and had Phillip Rivers, can y'all believe that Phillip Rivers is coming back to play football? Then I'd be like, what are we doing? Like, we're sacrificing the future. But Tyler Shough is literally the future. So we are winning games because of the future and Tyler Shough. then you don't have to stress too much about a draft pick, in my opinion. My guy C. Nick says, higher draft picks do not correlate with success. Winning does. I agree. I absolutely agree. And another thing is you do not want to build a losing culture. That's the Pelicans' problem right now. The Pelicans are actually playing much better basketball than they were playing about a few weeks ago, but yet they keep losing games. Why? Because I can't prove it, but they have a losing culture in that building. And the Saints, if anything, are hopefully building a winning culture going into 2026 and beyond. The Note of Chop says, I would rather see us be competitive. I want to see growth. AP6743 says, if your front office is competent, then a pick does not matter. A good front office will rebuild the team with the 9th pick, and a bad front office will screw things up with the 1st pick. So draft status does not matter. Fun fact, wasn't it Patrick Mahomes drafted with the number 10 pick by the Chiefs, or with the number 9 pick, actually? So how that worked out for the Chiefs? They didn't need the number 1 pick for that. They didn't need the top 5 pick to get Mahomes. They traded up for him, but they didn't need the top 5 pick to turn into a dynasty. That same draft. New Orleans Saints had the greatest draft class in the past, in my opinion, like 20 years. We took Marshawn Lattimore with the number 10 pick. We didn't have a top 5 pick to take Lattimore. We didn't have a top 3 pick to take Lattimore, to take Kamara, to take Ramczyk, to take Trey Hendrickson, to take Marcus Williams. But we took talent when we found it, right? Draft position be damned. If you have a competent front office, like AP says, sometimes that draft slot doesn't matter. Sonia says, we are developing our investments, not ruining our draft picks. Exactly. Again, this was last year. I can understand. Like when you got a team mainly of veterans winning games, then you could be like, man, but we know Tyrann Mathieu isn't going to be on the team for long. We know that Derek Carr isn't going to be on the team for what we thought they were, but they wasn't. So you're like, man, winning these games doesn't do anything for us. But when you go winning games with Tyler Shough and Devin Neal, Quincy Riley, Jonas Senka, and Karen Banks, you're developing your investments. You're not ruining your future. Your future is being invested in right now. So I'm not surprised. I figured my audience, my specific audience, was going to be very much on my side, I guess, as far as saying the investment is more important than the draft picks. But believe you me, if I ask this on Twitter, I would get a lot more, random fans saying, nah, screw that. Go with the draft picks, man. Let's go with the draft picks. Bruce Anderson says, yeah, so let's just lose out and ruin the progress of our 6 rookies. Even more, our second-year players, our rookie coaching staff, a chance to get one high pick that we could easily whiff off. You didn't even need to put the obvious sarcasm foreclosure. Bruce saying, we knew we get what you were doing. We get what you were doing. And by the way, yes, if T30 is watching, happy birthday to our guy T30 the King. Well, I guess James might have something to say with that too, but one of the best voicemail callers on the show. Your pal Al the Retro Gamer says there's also quarterbacks coming in the pipeline soon. Arch Manning in 2027, Julian Sane in 2028. Good point, Retro Gamer, because let's say that we do go with Tyler Shough in 2026, which we should go with Tyler Shough in 2026. Tyler Shough comes back down to reality and he plays like shit, and we're like, whoa, boy, well, that was fool's gold. He fooled us. A la what the Tennessee Titans fans went through with Will Levis, and he wound up being fool's gold to them, and then they got the number 1 pick, and they took Cam Ward. Okay, if that's the Saints reality, then you know what? That means in 2027, we do go after Arch Manning. Y'all know I've been on the Arch Manning train for a while. So, hey, we'll just go back and rewind it and do it all again in 2026. We'll say, oh, well, Tyler Shough didn't work out. Arch Manning, here we go. The dream lives. Arch Manning being the first quarterback the Saints taking the first round since Archie Manning. So, yeah, sir, I agree with that. Roll with Tyler Shough in 2026. If he flames out, there's always going to be another great hyped-up quarterback prospect. There's always going to be another great hyped-up quarterback prospect. Now, Montreal Davis, this is the first one who might actually be on the other side, guys. He says, our draft pick is finna be ruined with the laughing emoji. Montreal, tell me, what do you mean by it being ruined? Do you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because you say the word ruined. So by ruined, you're making it seem like you think that this is bad. Like we're winning at the expense of a good draft pick. But maybe you might mean it another way. I'm taking it out of context. But how do you feel about it being ruined? Do you think that that's a bad thing, or do you think it's a good thing that, us winning out? I don't know if we're going to win out, but us winning enough games is ruining the draft pick. I need you to elaborate more. So maybe you can play devil's advocate to everybody in the chat saying, screw them draft picks at the expense of, as long as Tyler Shough looks good. Kevin says, look at the top picks Cleveland has had through the years. What's their record? I think a lot of fans are going to use that argument that sometimes you look at these top teams in the draft, the Giants and the Browns and the Titans, who had the number 1 pick last year. Like, these are teams that have been at the top of the draft for a very long time. the Jets. The Jets are like the king of having the top pick all the time. And that has not led them to any type of success. So yes, sometimes you can argue, not even sometimes, maybe a lot of times, you should argue that building a winning culture is much, much more important than saying, oh, we got a top pick in the draft. Think about that. Carl says, are we in a hunt to get Ziggy back on next week? Well, Ziggy said he was going to be back on this week, and then he took a surprise vacation on me. But yeah, hopefully, I would thought that Ziggy would be on the show this week, right? Like, geez, the Saints had the best game. This is probably the most excited the fan base has been since Derek Carr retired. I thought for sure Ziggy was going to be on the show this week, but we send Ziggy our best well wishes on his vacation and safe travels with him and his wife when they come back home from their little bit of a mini couples getaway that he's on right now. So Keto Beats says, Shough right now is the best I thought about the Saints drafting a quarterback in a long time. He's been here since 1988. Me too, my guy. So shout out to us, generation. What is are we we're not Gen Z. No, are we Generation X? Or millennials? Whatever we are. Shout out to our great generation. Shout out to the 1988 babies. Slim South says, Juwan Johnson, aka Mr. TikTok, has been balling ever since Shough started. Actually, I would argue that Juwan Johnson has been balling all season. I know that he had a lot of plays that was very hair-grabbingly annoying, but he was putting up numbers with Spencer Rattler too. So I want to be a little fair. Spencer Rattler and Juwan Johnson had a good connection too, but he has kept up that play with Tyler Shough undoubtedly. Yes, I do agree with that. And finally, F82G Money 26. Man, I wish Twitter would go back to the actual names and not the username handles. But it's a TikTok. I mean, it's a Twitter decision. It's a YouTube decision, y'all, not a John Bones decision. He says no NFL coach is going to tell the players to go play like dog water so I can go draft your replacements. Exactly. I think that's the main thing. For all the fans that want to tank, you go tell those group of professionals that, go lose those games for us. Man, they're going to look at you with the stupidest look on their face. So we'll see. Maybe the Saints aren't going to win the next few games. Maybe we lose out and everybody gets their wish. Maybe Tyler Shough looks good in losses going forward. But I will tell Saints fans who want to get that draft pick this. Again, I understand y'all frustration. I understand y'all desire. And the shiny toy that is a top draft pick, I get it. I promise you I get it. It will make April so much more fun and so much more exciting if we had a top 3 pick, if we had a top 5 pick. Right now we have a top 5 pick. Maybe, hopefully, we just stay in the top 5. But just know, if for whatever reason we wind up winning games, and we are winning games because of Tyler Shough, the way we won this past Sunday because of Tyler Shough, that is a good thing. That means that you have a quarterback of the future that you can have belief in. That means you have a quarterback that you can actually build on. Hell, that might mean you have a quarterback that you can make the playoffs with in 2026. Because you got a quarterback on a rookie contract who knows how to win games. So have a little hope. Have a little faith. Just remember that this shit is more than a game.
Here's a gift just for you for being a fan. Are you going to a sports game or a concert or any major event? Well, buy your tickets from SeatGeek and use the promo code JONO at checkout and you can receive $20 off your purchase over $50. That's $20 off your purchase. What are you waiting for? You know this shit more than a game, man.
No, enough from me. We all know why a lot of you guys tune in the show. You want to hear from the fans of the Who Dat Nation. And on the John Bones Show, we love giving a voice to the voiceless. So here are the voicemails and texts from the Who Dat Nation and sadly, but happily actually, the Dirty Bird Nation after the New Orleans Saints defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past Sunday.
Yo, Jono, this is Jerry G. What's good, man? Look, Sunday was a great day. Let me say it again. Sunday was a great day. And I'll tell you why. Because the Saints beat the Bucs. Everybody that thought they were going to pick the Bucs to win, they were wrong. And we beat them only by 4 points. Hey, I'll take it. But hey, a win is a win, and I will take it. But also, not only that, but the Falcons got eliminated from the playoffs. And I said about a week ago, don't be surprised if the Falcons lose to the Seahawks, which they did, and now they are on the couch with us. We were already eliminated earlier, but now they just sit right next to us, and we still gonna talk our stuff. So I just wanted to say, Jono, it was a great day. Saints win. Falcons eliminated for playoff contention. Panthers on a bye week. We'll play them next Sunday. But I'm gonna enjoy this day because it is a great freaking day. And all I gotta say, this shit more than a game. Who that? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Who that? Let's go.
You're damn right, Jerry. You're damn right. Now, I will give credit to the Falcons, though. Some of the fans are tried and true and actually did still leave me some text messages, including that one Falcons fan. He said, yeesh. Oh, well, here we go again. And 8 consecutive. Damn, they lost 8. They haven't made the playoffs in 8 years? That's crazy. They talk a lot of shit to say that they haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. An 8 consecutive playoff eliminating season. At this point, dare I say it, the Jets might make it to the playoffs before we do. I don't know how Raheem is still the head coach. I'm trying to keep my tone civil and level-headed, but goddamn, I have my limits. And losing 37-9 at home is no exception. We are a joke, and one loss away from being in 4th place in the division as we will be facing the Bucs again on Thursday night. A tale as old as time. The Falcons will forever Falcon. Until further notice, Falcons stands for fans always left counting on next season. I like that. The bright side, James Pierce Jr. was worth the pick. Despite our record, the Bulldogs beat Bama, and even my own college, Kennesaw State, gave me something to be happy about, winning the CUSA championship. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the Bulldogs being in Bama. I don't care about Kennesaw State. I don't care about any of that. I care about the fact that your Falcons were eliminated and that you have gladly accepted that the Falcons are always going Falcon. And yes, Falcon stands for fans always left counting on next season. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Saints won. Man, Tyler Shough's pretty good. That open drive, we got better. We have to beat those Tampa Bay Bucs. That's got to be 5.
Man, a few words you are, Kyle, but I agree. We also got a text from Kamir, one of our favorite Falcons fans, and he says, amen. I get to take a nice vacation to Colombia with the wife today and not have to have any high blood pressure this week from watching my sorry-ass Falcons again. Boy, it's so funny how the tone has changed with Falcons fans from the week 1 text messages to now, huh? So funny how the tone has changed in their text messages. Let's hear from Hurricane Mikey.
I've been expecting you Tampa Bay fan. I've been waiting to say this to you every year. Y'all been asking for the hate. Y'all been asking for the villain. Well, here I am. You say every year, you get mad when we pay all of our focus to Atlanta. You get mad when we don't take you seriously, even though you won the division for every single season since 2021. You get angry. Well, guess what? Now I'm paying my attention to you. Now Tyler Shough's paying his attention to you. Your wide receiver, Mika Buka, he pulled a Chris Olave today. Yeah, Mike Evans dusting. He didn't want the smoke because he knows Kool-Aid would kill him. You wanted the villain. You wanted the enemy. You wanted the anger. Well, here I am. And Atlanta, you're next.
Wow. Winning does a lot to Mikey, huh? Winning does a lot to Mikey. I'm a little scared. I like that though, Mikey. I like that a lot. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Jono, this Jerry G once again.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. What else did I call for? Oh, yes. Now I remember. Yes, we were eliminated last week. But guess who is eliminated and will join us on the couch as I promised? You guessed it. The one and only Choke Atlanta Falcons. Oh, wait a minute. You thought I was fish? Oh, no. Y'all joined us on the couch after y'all got embarrassed by Rashid Shaheed and the Seattle Seahawks. So, welcome to the couch, Falcon fans. And that's all I got to say. And you want to know why? Because it's shit more than a game. Who that?
Joey called a second time just to say the Falcons were eliminated again. That's some real hate. That's some 50 Cent on Diddy hate levels. That's some Kendrick Lamar on Drake hate levels. That's some real hate. We got another text from Archangel, actually left a text message. What a surprise. And he says, wow, Jono, calm down, bud. I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself already, thinking that Tyler Shough is the wave of the future. And you got the nerve to talk about us Falcons fans. But I think you're forgetting one thing, though. The Saints will always be the Saints. Who that? This shit more than being dirty. That sounds like a porno. Hashtag dirty birds for life. You know, maybe I am getting ahead of myself, Archangel, but here's the thing. At least we're getting ahead of ourselves in wins. Michael Penix was playing up average numbers and losses last year, and y'all got ahead of yourselves. So if you want to give the Saints fans credit for anything, it's like we're getting ahead of ourselves and we're actually winning games. Something that y'all might want to learn how to do to actually polish up y'all sad-ass team from the national media thinking that y'all hot shit. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Next voicemail.
Yes, yes, yes. That is the game I've been looking for all fucking year, man. All year. It just feels like every single win we get is better than the last. Like, your first win was a bunch of turnovers. Second win, we shut down Rico Dowdle. This game was like the complete win. It was like a team effort, a whole team effort, man. This defense, man, you gotta give props to Brandon Staley. I actually mentioned this on the reaction video. Brandon Staley has really, like, you know, brought this defense to life, man. They've really started improving as time has gone on, man. And, you know, Tyler Shough, man. I mean, not enough can be said about Tyler Shough and how impressive he's been. Like, this is like the first game this year where I actually felt like, damn, you know what? If Tyler Shough was not starting in this game, we would have lost. That is a great fucking sign that you have the quarterback that has that it factor, man. Now, of course, I understand. This was his, fifth start? Well, let me see. Rams, Panthers, Falcons, Dolphins, Bucs. Okay, yeah. This was his fifth start of the year, okay? So, fifth start of his career. So, yeah, like, obviously, it still remains to be seen whether he's going to be that consistent, like, great quarterback. But, man, you cannot help but be hopeful and optimistic about our future with this guy in the quarterback position. Like, it feels so good to finally have that hope that, you know, whenever our starting quarterback goes out there, you're thinking, you know what, man? We have a chance. When you have that feeling, when you have that thought, man, you cannot ask to be in a better situation, I'm telling you. And, man, you are slowly seeing this team evolve, man. And Kellen Moore, I will say, besides that one fucking toss play on I think it was a 4th and 1, besides that, great game plan, okay? And I'm glad he's adjusting, like, no more Taysom QB powers. Thank fucking God. He went off of that shit. So I appreciate Kellen Moore for at least, you know, trying to change things up instead of keeping shit the same like Pistol Pete did. So, cool. Either way, man, complete win. Team effort. Fucking love it, man. Like, right now, in the position we are in, man, we got a rookie quarterback who has been playing, like, great, man. He's been playing great. We got a rookie left tackle who's been pretty consistent, man. And you got to be hopeful for him as well. We got a rookie running back as well who stepped up in this game, man. He got a lot of opportunities. He got 19 carries for 70 yards. You got to be happy with that, man. You got to be happy with that progress. We got a rookie safety, rookie cornerback, and rookie linebacker. Man, Stutzman needs to take Pete Warner's place. I'm sorry. Or DeMario's place or whatever. And you know what? No, not DeMario. Yeah, DeMario's still good. He's still good. And, you know, it's crazy, man. I keep hearing it all the time how, man, Mickey Loomis has not had a good draft since 2017. We need to change that shit up to last year because last year's draft class, I'm sorry, man, it was really looking like one of the best we've had. Sure, maybe it's not as flashy as 2017 was. Like, you know, we don't have an offensive rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year, but stacked. Fucking stacked. And you can't help but feel hope. Like, to think that we could finish this season still with a top 10 pick, oh my freaking goodness. Oh, yes. We are in such a good fucking position, man. Like I said, you know, rookie quarterback, rookie running back, rookie left tackle, rookie safety, rookie cornerback, rookie linebacker. Yeah, that's not even counting the second-year players as well. And on top of that, a rookie coaching staff, too. We are definitely in a much better position than the Falcons, I'll tell you that much. Am I overreacting a little bit? Sure, man. But, I mean, Jono already knows, like, this shit more than the game certified. Like, if I'm going to carry the title of this shit more than the game certified, I got to, like, act it out at some point. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to overreact. Yes, I fucking love what I'm seeing, man. And I can't help but feel like the future is fucking bright. It's your boy, Bruce Saint. Signing out and fuck Falcons.
Bro, you be spoiling your voicemails with the comments in the chat. Sometimes you gotta leave a tease because you all the stuff that you say in a voicemail you say it in the chat today. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And you're right. I think that we have I think we feel better about our future today, December 9th, 2025, than the Falcons fans do about their future. And that makes me laugh just like you, Bruce Saint. Thank you for that voicemail. And again, Bruce Saint, man, thank you so much for all the super chats, man. You are this shit. No, Bruce Saint, be whoever the hell you are. I was just being silly. You are this shit more than a game, certified Brute. And we really, really appreciate the support that you've done for the Jono Barnes Show and the This Shit More Than a Game community. So everybody, leave a goddamn this shit more than a let's do something. Put a this brute more than a game in the chat for all the loyal Jono Barnes people right now. Put a this brute more than a game in the chat right now, because that man be holding this Jono Barnes Show down with the voicemails, with the super chats and the comments and all that, and giving me the motivation to keep doing my show when maybe numbers get stagnant or maybe numbers plateau or whatever. But then you see someone like Bruce Saint, who is like loyal to this shit, dedicates every Tuesday night to this shit. Man, it's Brute more than the game. So that, like my guy Mikey said, and a lot of you guys too, but I'm just giving Bruce Saint the love because that man, with the super chats, it helps to invest in this show the way we do with the equipment that we buy or the platform upgrades that we do. And I just really want to give him some thanks, man. I hope that he knows how much he is appreciated, not only in the This Shit More Than the Game community, but in the Barnes family. Bruce Saint, you are This Shit More Than the Game certified. All right, I think I made a mistake, y'all, and I rewinded the voicemail back, so let me catch up on the voicemail. But I think we got another voicemail from, I think Jerry spoiled it, from Jerry himself.
It's like
Let's see.
Don't have a snowman.
All right, y'all. Yeah, this is not going to be me going back too far in time. Jerry actually left a dirt voicemail. Let's hear from Jerry G again after the Saints beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Jerry G, once again, for the third time, during this Victory Monday. We took care of them Yucks on Sunday. This coming Sunday, Who That Nation, break out the broom, because we sweeping the Panthers' ass on Sunday. They think they're going to beat us on Sunday. They don't have a snowball chance in hell. Ain't no way north, south, east, or west hell these Carolina punk-ass Panthers gonna come to the Dome on Sunday and beat us. Ain't no way. Who That Nation, get the brooms out, because we doing some cleaning up this coming weekend. And all I gotta say is this shit more than the game. Talking about keep pounding. Pound D, who that?
We'll close the show with that. We'll see just how confident Saints fans are when we play the Carolina Panthers in the Superdome this Sunday, because that's going to be a good game, I think. I think this is probably going to be the game that a lot of us are like, oh, well, let's see what these New Orleans Saints are about as far as, going into the end of 2025. We'll get to the Saints and Panthers preview at the end of the show, Jerry, but I guess I know what your pick is, Jerry. I guess I know what your pick is. Next voicemail.
One more thing. I want to address the elephant in the room. What's the elephant in the room, you ask? Well, that's a good question, Timothy and Bobby. The elephant in the room is Kellen Moore. Everybody hates Kellen Moore now because they say he's only an offensive guru because he coached the Eagles last season. The same Eagles with Stephon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goddard. That's the only reason Kellen Moore did good last season. And I'm about to debunk that theory because so if coaching the Eagles is so easy, and if anybody could do it, then why were the Eagles second in rushing yards per game? But this season, they're 22nd. Can anyone answer that? If coaching the Eagles is so easy, then why did last season they average 5th in yards per rush, but this season they are averaging 24th? If coaching the Eagles is so easy, then why did they average 7th? Or why were they 7th in points per game last season, but this season they're 19th? If coaching the Eagles was so easy, why were they 10th last season, third on conversions, and yet they're 28th this season? If coaching the Eagles is so easy because they have Saquon Barkley, you can do anything with him, why did he have over 2,000 yards last season and he doesn't even have 800 yards this season? You see, you can have your feelings about Kellen Moore, but to say that anybody can just coach and another thing, an argument might be, well, Kevin Patullo just ain't that great of a coach. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's a great coach or not. If he's coaching the Eagles, he should automatically have success, right? But this is why Kellen Moore's been my guy since day one, because he did all of that with the Eagles. Kellen Moore made the Eagles offense who they were. You can say Kellen Moore isn't that great of an offensive mind all you want. then why do you have the Eagles winning a Super Bowl? The coaching the Eagles is super freaking easy. Why did they win a Super Bowl? And this season, and I'm watching them play the Chargers right now, and I'm pretty sure I'd rather watch paint dry than watch this offense. But coaching the Eagles is so easy, man. Some people are dumb. I'm sorry. Like, you can say that's rude, crash. I mean, I like it. I don't care. That's dumb behavior. Coaching means more than you think. It doesn't matter what team you have. Coaching means more than you think.
I will say, because I've been critical about some components of Kellen Moore as a head coach, but yeah, no, Mikey makes a good point in that the Eagles do not look as good as they did last year. That's for sure. They lost to the Chargers last night. Jalen Hurts had 5 turnovers. They don't look like the same Eagles as last year, and they look boring as hell. That's for damn sure. So I'm one of the people who like sometimes get on the show and I'm like, it's easy to have success when you got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown, but we are seeing in real time the Eagles, that success isn't as easily replicated with somebody else calling the plays. So credit to Kellen Moore for that. And even though there is some questionable things he's done as a rookie head coach, even though I'm still not fully in on the Kellen Moore train as far as having 100% belief that he's going to be the guy who leads us to success, I think he's done enough definitely to be optimistic about certain aspects. Again, a great draft class. He develops quarterback amazingly, which is probably like the most important thing you should be able to do as a head coach. I just hope that, especially when we get more talent on offense, if the offense starts to look like, like that 2024 Eagles offense where, you're like, man, this is an offense that defenses are dreading to play, then we might have something, along with the intangibles that you need to do to be a head coach. But I will agree that I think a lot of fans, including myself, maybe have been overly critical of Kellen Moore while not giving him enough credit for some of the positives that he's done so far as a rookie head coach. The most positive being the development of Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. So, yeah, Mike, I'm glad that you showing Kellen Moore some love because 2 wins in the past 4 weeks. He deserves some love, and I hope that he continues to build on it and continues to grow as a rookie head coach. Now, there's somebody who's been super critical of Kellen Moore, and it's only fitting that we close out the voicemail segment with this guy.
This is James. Just James. I didn't even want to make y'all wait this week. So, DJ, please.
Okay.
Oh, what a bless my soul. What's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, my hands all shaky and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who do you think when you have such luck? I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Ooh, yeah. I'm all shook up. Yeah. I'm not even going to go off on Kellen Moore this week. It's all positive vibes and energy around the Who Dat Nation. Word to Ziggy. Yeah. We may have got us one, y'all. We may have finally got us a quarterback. And he's got us all the way shook up. Yeah. Tell those dumbass Falcons fans, tell those Bucs fans they know for sure now. The Panthers fans are going to find out again this week. Hell, tell Sean, tell Evan wherever he is. John will tell the whole world, tell a This Shed More Than a Game community that the NFL is about to get shook up. Yeah. And if they don't like that, well, they can shuck my... I forgot. I'm going to save it for later. This is a PG-13 show. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I'm all shook up.
These shuck puns and innuendos are going to be crazy the next decade or so if Tyler Shough continues to play the way we think that he can possibly continue to play. Thank you to everybody who left a voicemail. Don't forget 504-484-9170. Or you can leave a text message if you don't want your voice to be as prominent as the great James. Just James. We appreciate every single voicemail and text that we get, and we love giving a voice to the voiceless here on the Jono Barnes Show. Somebody who definitely does not have a voiceless voice, but definitely uses his voice loud and proud after every Saints game is yours truly. And my wife documented how I felt after the Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past Sunday.
Oh, come on. Damn! Yeah, go! Touchdown! Tyler Shough! Nathan Shough!
Who? That's not his name. What are you saying?
Middle name now. Oh my
Calm down.
God.
Wait, where are you going?
It's a Christmas. Oh my God.
Jono, you praying? You don't even pray at church.
Thank you for letting us find
Oh my God.
our quarterback. Thank you for letting us
Put
find.
baby Jesus down.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Look at you. This is a, what, 3-10 team now? Stop crying.
I'm not crying, man. They had some dozen baby Jesus got in my eyes. Man,
You're ridiculous.
Times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to
God, you're joking.
like this in the matter of time.
I can't take you seriously.
In the back of the paddy wagon comes knocked on wrist. See my dreams unfold. Nightmares come true. It was time to get married to the game, and I said, yeah, I do. Because we got a quarterback in the future. But you just don't get it. You know how
Calm
long
down.
we suffered since Drew Brees retired. Andy Dalton, Spencer Rattler, Jake Hainer, Ian Buck, Derek Carr. We got our quarterback, man. And we go to the Super Bowl.
Shady, he's crazy.
Let me tell you something right now. All those NFC South teams and Tampa Bay just found out. They better catch up. Because we coming out. When we
To the 3-10
when we get some skilled players around Tyler, Nathan, and Shough, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. We are going to the Super Bowl next year.
So Chris Olave is not a, talented.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh my God.
Christmas miracle.
Christmas
As a matter of fact, look. I need your debit card right quick. Please, I need your credit card.
I don't have a debit card or a credit card. I
need
canceled all of
I
it.
need your credit card, man.
For what?
Because I want to go to the game next week because I really want to see Tyler Shough. I just want to look.
The 3-10 Saints. You want to spend more money on the 3-10.
Surprise! Merry Christmas. You found your gift. So let me give you a credit card. I'm going to pay you back when I get my working stuff in my bag back. We're going to have a time of our lives. Tyler Shough is here. He is now. And this shit more than the game, man.
You're never going to find it.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I think that would be a good Christmas gift. I don't know why she be so hard pressed sometimes, man. It's Shoughamania. Get into the fever. Jeez. Now the question is, will Shoughamania continue to run wild this Sunday when the New Orleans Saints take on the Carolina Panthers? Tyler Shough beat the Carolina Panthers once in Carolina. Can he do it again in the Superdome this upcoming Sunday? Actually, now that I think about it, Tyler Shough hasn't actually won a home game yet as a starting quarterback. So what better way now than to possibly spoil the Carolina Panthers playoff dreams than beating them in the Superdome? Do y'all think that the New Orleans Saints will beat the Carolina Panthers this Sunday at home? Do we keep the momentum up or do we come back down to reality? I saw my girl ASAP Digness leave a comment because she actually lives in the North Carolina area. Let me see if I can find that comment right quick where she says how much she really, really hopes that we beat the Carolina Panthers. There we go. She says, I hope we sweep them all. Ever since I moved to North Carolina, is how I've heard how much the Panthers are better than the Saints. They better recognize. I don't know what Panthers fan told you that, ASAP Digness, because them dudes ain't been in the playoffs damn near as long as the Falcons ain't been in the playoffs. So I don't know what Panthers fan told you that, but you already got one win on them. ASAP Digness. Let's hope you can get another one on them this upcoming Sunday. How do y'all feel? Do the New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers this upcoming Sunday? Leave in the comments below. Saints or Panthers, who do you have winning this game? This is a tough one because I know that Carolina is going to be motivated on two things. One, they're going to want their revenge after us upsetting them a few weeks ago. And two, they have a realistic shot at making the playoffs. Tampa Bay has lost 3 of their last 4, including to our New Orleans Saints. Their window for the Panthers to make the playoffs for the first time since like 2017 is wide open. So they are going to be much more motivated, much more, I guess, focused than they were. If you're going to argue that maybe we caught them off guard when we beat them in Carolina a few weeks ago. Tyler Shough looks real good, man, and the Saints look good. I don't know. I think my heart says New Orleans Saints, and I think my head says Carolina. I think I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. That makes a lot of Saints fans who wanted a good draft position happy. I just think Carolina, because of what they're playing for, might have a little bit more motivation, I guess, to find a way to pull off the win than what we given our talent level, even through the great things Shough has been able to do, will be able to counter with. So I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers. If the Saints prove me wrong, Lord knows I would get on here and say, shout out to the Saints for once again proving me wrong. Montreal Davis says he has the Saints winning this game. Brute Saints says he has the Saints getting on their first win streak of the year. ASAP Thickness says that the Panthers are buns. So I'm assuming she's going to pick the Saints in this game. Sonia says the Panthers only because I don't want the Bucs on top of the division. Jerry says that the Saints are going to win. At least Mr. Ripley, fellow Falcons fan, can come on and say good game. You see, unlike the other Falcons fans who wasn't giving us credit, Ripley has always been honest. And he says, you know what, Saints, you guys are a good team. And you guys are better than my Atlanta Falcons. And deep down, I think Mr. Ripley wants to be a Saints fan. I really do. I think Mr. Ripley wants to be a Saints fan. But y'all, we'll find out. I'm actually very excited about this game. I'm excited about the rest of the season. I really am, because it's exciting to see Tyler Shough's growth and see what he can do. You know, will he continue to convert non-believers into believers? Will he continue to find a way to make chicken salad out of chicken shit? Will he find a way to continue to win some games that the Saints probably have no business winning in 2025? It's going to be fun if anything. And I hope the fans who are like dead set on getting a good draft pick, it'll be fun to ruin the Panthers season the way we almost ruined the Bucs season, or the way we almost ruined theirs. You know, one of these teams between the Bucs and the Panthers are not going to make the playoffs. And a lot of that's going to be because they lost to the New Orleans Saints. So if it's the Panthers or the Bucs, it's been real fun to watch their fan bases crash out because they lost to the goddamn lowly New Orleans Saints. But I would argue that maybe they might want to get used to that. Maybe they might want to get used to losing to the New Orleans Saints, because this is a brand new era. It is the Tyler Shough era. And they might want to start getting used to Tyler Shough beating their team. Thank you to everybody who joined the Jono Barnes Show tonight. If you're new to the Jono Barnes channel, hit that like button. If you're true to the Jono Barnes channel, y'all already know, man. Y'all are this shit more than the game certified. But I ask everybody for one final favor.
Hey fans, hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Panthers fan sad. 3, 2, 1.
And we will be back on the Jono Barnes Show next week. Same Jono Barnes time, same Jono Barnes channel. I close out the show tonight, y'all, with the great one, the prince, the heir to the throne of this shit more than the game kingdom, Lil Jono, witnessing his first Saints win against the Carolina Panthers, witnessing the possibility that Tyler Shough is going to be the quarterback that he grows up with as his franchise quarterback, witnessing how it feels to be this shit more than the game certified in real time. If you're true to the Jono Barnes channel, you remember his first week and his first few weeks as a Saints fan, he was slowly learning. You know, he's a baby, so he had to learn, you know, what it means to be this shit more than the game certified, even though he is the first ever this shit more than the game certified baby. But if you watch the development and the growth, because Tyler Shough ain't the only rookie. Jonas Sink ain't the only rookie. Quincy Riley ain't the only rookie. Devin Neal ain't the only rookie. Lil Jono is the real rookie of this 2025 Saints season, and I'll argue that he is the rookie of the year. Tyler Shough, he's looking real good, but I think Lil Jono is the real rookie of the year. If y'all been following since week 1, y'all will see from this video just how much growth Lil Jono has had. So please enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next week on the Jono Barnes Show. And y'all want to know why? Because this shit more than a game.
Look at Tyler Shough. Look at Tyler Shough, boy. Oh, I understand for him. He's convincing me, buddy. He might be your first franchise quarterback. That's a touchdown. Push that ball in. Push him in. There we go. Referees be trying to hate. You're going to learn that early. Referees be trying to hate on the Saints. We ain't going to let this stop us. You know why? This shit more than the game. Defense. Defense. There goes defense. 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 Here we go. Defense. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Look at that. That's how you do it, son. And that's why you say it. Good job. Good job. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, smile. That's how you do it. This shit more than the game. Good job. Defense. Defense. Defense.
wrong about Tyler Shough. I was wrong about Tyler Shough, dude.
Juno.